Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing my Kindle Unlimited check-in. So this is where I talk about all of the books that I have checked out, the books that I have read, the books that I have returned and not read, or the books that I want to get to. So let's dive in. I ended up returning Born of Fire and Den of Vipers not finished. I didn't actually start Born of Fire, but I got about 50% of the way through Den of Vipers, and they just didn't really interest me anymore, so I returned them. And then I also ended up DNFing and returning these Monstrous Ties. You can watch my most recent Kindle Unlimited Dark Romance vlog if you are interested in my thoughts, but it just wasn't written very well. I did end up reading Not His to Touch, which I gave 2 stars to. This is a Guardian Ward romance, and it was just very hot and cold the entire time. The hero had a dark past that kept him from feeling like he was able to be with the heroine, and so they would have a sexual encounter and then he would run away, and then it just happened over and over again. And the conflict of the book just didn't sit right with me, so I ended up giving it 2 stars. I did give 3 stars to Kings of Tyranny, but it's probably more like a 2. This is an MC romance, and the MC is all veterans, and the hero and the heroine are veterans, and they work together to prevent a drug ring going on in the heroine's grandmother's retirement community. It just was boring. They got together really early, which I don't love in romance, and the plot wasn't interesting enough to sustain the story. So I read Golden Boys, and I gave this 4 stars. This is a new adult bully romance between West and Blue, and this is probably one of the most unique and fantastic bully romances I've ever read. Aside from Punk 57, this is probably like second in my top. And it is about the hero who in the beginning of the book finds a half-naked picture of the heroine on his dad's cell phone, and to kind of assuage his guilt and also get revenge for his mother, he decides to ruin her life. Now, this is a pretty common bully romance idea of ruining someone's life, but the thing that I liked about this one in particular was in the very beginning, he makes it very clear that this is not his normal personality. He usually doesn't bully and push people around, and that this is a specific case. And while the case might be a little immature and misguided, I think that he speaks to the sort of person that he is. Throughout the entire book, he shows that he is very loving and kind generally. And so it was just kind of a new and fresh take on the story, and I read the second one as well, Not His Girl, and I also gave that one 4 stars. I won't read the third one just because I don't really like the cliffhanger that it left on, and I don't like the direction that the series is taking, but I really enjoyed those. I then read and gave 4 stars to Necromancer's Bride. So this is about a girl who, in the beginning of the story, she is a child and she is deathly ill. They call in the hero to bring her back to life, and then 10 years later, the children in her village are getting sick. So she goes to the hero and asks him to cure the children, but he takes her as his bride. And I like this. It's very weird. It's not going to be for everybody, but it was a great Halloween read. If you want to know my full thoughts, check out the Brianna Hale live show for October. I also read and gave 4 stars to Gothichana. This is a gothic romance, and it is about Corvina, who in the beginning of the book gets this mysterious letter of admittance to this mysterious university, and when she gets there, it's like this gothic palatial school, and it's on the top of a mountain in the middle of the woods, and it's all very mysterious, and she has a love interest in her English professor, so it is a student-teacher dynamic, but there's also a mystery going on. It is very much gothic romance. I enjoyed it a lot. It gave me like a lot of nostalgic feelings for books that I read when I was a teenager. But I had some issues with the writing, with the choice of POVs, and just kind of like the weird dichotomy between the romance itself and the language used around the romance and the rest of the book. And then I did love and have a couple of 5 stars. So the first 5 star that I had was Surrender, and this is like a sexcation between the hero and the heroine. They end up going on vacation together, and it was incredibly sexy. And then the other one was Treble, which is her second newest release, and it is a poly story with a pre-established marriage, and then they bring in a third party, and it was sexy as fuck. I also had another 5-star aside from the Rilsey Adams, which was Run Posey Run. This is a psychopath romance between Dario and Posey, and in the beginning of the book they break up because of a sex tape that Dario was sent that he thinks means Posey was cheating on him. So he basically tells her, get out of my house or I'm going to kill you. And then he realizes his mistake and becomes obsessed with getting her back, and it becomes a captive situation, and I absolutely loved it. I would highly recommend reading it. So those are all of the books that I have talked to you about. I do have some that I have since checked out that I haven't talked to you about. We have Second Comes War. This is the second book in the Lilith Vincent series, the first one being First Comes Blood. I have From Lukov with Love, which everybody knows. I think it's like figure skating or something like that. And then we have Hunting Adeline. I think this is a stalker romance. I heard Naima from Naima's Reads raving about this, so I wanted to pick it up. And then we have Satan's Affair. So this says, every Halloween, Satan's affair will come to you. We travel the country offering terrifying haunted houses, thrilling rides, and the tastiest foods. And with every passing town, I cleanse the world, one execution at a time. I hide within the walls, casting my judgment for those that reek of evil, singing lullabies to their rotting soul. Once you've chosen me, there's no escaping my henchmen. They cater to my every desire. You can run and you can hide, but it only excites me. Come, take a walk through my dollhouse where your screams will blend and your cute little pleas will go unanswered. But I can't promise it'll be over quickly. And then I also picked up Hooked, which is a dark Peter Pan retelling, I'm pretty sure. Then I picked up Kingpin's Foxglove on Letitia from Books and Bees recommendation, and it says, she needs to find the antidote, but there is no cure for love. After a year of marriage, Elena Falcone suddenly finds herself a widow and at the mercy of Konstantin Tarkov of the Bratva, determined never to return to her hometown. Elena makes a deal with the devil: heal a sick woman and be granted her freedom, or fail and be returned to her family. And then I ended up picking up Promises and Pomegranates. I saw Steph from Novelty Corner talking about this, and I'm pretty sure it is a Hades and Persephone retelling about Elena and Cal. Cal is the villain, the harbinger of death, keeper of souls, frequenter of nightmares, Hades incarnate, and he kidnapped her, and that's pretty much all the synopsis says. And then the last thing that I checked out was another MC romance. Don't ask me why, but it is that's why. Savage, a dark high school bully romance, and it's part of an MC series. Says, no one knows the code of the Sinner's MC better than me. Born and raised in the club, I've spent most of my life rebelling against my daddy's strict rules and overprotective nature. When an old MC rival resurfaces, I find myself with not one, but two surly biker babysitters. Dane Stray, my ex-best friend, and Rhett Savage, my daddy's favorite member and perpetual thorn in my side. I don't need protecting, no, not the way Dane and Rhett think I do, but they're determined to get all up in my business. I hate them, except I also want them, both of them, which is kind of awkward because I'm the club princess and 100% off limits. That's never stopped them taking what they want though. One of them wants me, one of them hates to want me. And me, I just want to survive senior year and finally spread my wings. But I'm about to learn just how far sinners will go to protect their own, especially when it's my life on the line. And it's a full series. I don't know if it's following the same 3 people. I will always read any bully romance that comes along, so we'll see how that one goes.
Would it even be a sit-down video of mine if I did not forget at least 3 books that I wanted to bring up? So I also got There Are No Saints from KU. This is the first book in the new duet by Sophie Lark, and I think the hero is a serial killer, and he's also like an art dealer or something like that, and all I know is that he doesn't try to get redeemed in this one, which is fantastic. I also got Lesson in Thorns, which I think is like a polyamorous story set around a mysterious town, and then Ruthless Strangers, which I don't know much about, but I do know is about like Mafia or Mob or something like that. It's been on my KU TBR so many times. I have never said anything about it, but yeah, these were the 3 that I was missing. Okay, bye.
But those are all of the books, Kindle books that I have read, DNF'd, just given up on in the past 2 months. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts on any of the books that I talked about, what you have currently checked out from Kindle Unlimited. I would love to know. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next one.